people like me. You need people like me so you can point your f***ing fingers and say, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's the bad guy.
Welcome to the mother relay. We're covering today's top boxing news.
Okay, we'll start with this. Another look at Queensberry Promotions' multi-year exclusive broadcast deal with DAZN, a landmark deal that really changes the game. Queensberry Promotions has entered into a multi-year media rights agreement with DAZN, making the sport entertainment platform the exclusive broadcast rights holder of their boxing events. The deal, which is expected to start in April of next year, would see fighters from Queensberry, such as Daniel Dubois, Zhilei Zhang, Fabio Wardley, Moses Itelma, Hamza Shiraz, female boxer Chantal Cameron, broadcasted exclusively on DAZN. This is a hugely proud moment for Queensberry as we join forces with leading platform DAZN on an exclusive basis, said George Warren, Queensberry Promotions CEO. Queensberry has undergone an unprecedented growth period over the past 18 months and firmly established ourselves as a leading promotional and events company. Now with DAZN in our corner, we can further accelerate our positioning on a global scale. This deal is also fantastic news for boxing fans across the world as we combine our best-in-class stable of fighters with what we consider to be the most ambitious streaming platform in the sport. The deal adds Queensberry to the likes of Matchroom, Golden Boy, and Misfits as global broadcast partners of DAZN, according to Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotions founder and chairman. The partnership is expected to help market the sport globally. I could not be more pleased that Queensberry is joining DAZN. This is a brilliant move for our fighters and, most importantly, for the fans. Their ambition and passion for the sport of boxing aligns perfectly with that of our own, and we now look forward to putting on the biggest fights possible together. For DAZN, the deal with Queensberry would make their brand the topmost broadcaster in boxing, having already sealed deals with other promoters. Three of the major promotional outfits in the sport, Matchroom, Queensberry, and Golden Boy, and one or two smaller promotional outfits. The advantage of this endeavor, this partnership, for example, is it now makes a fight like, say, Chantal Cameron versus Sandy Ryan more possible, since both boxers will be boxing on the same platform. Now, in my previous video, we talked about how an outfit like the PBC could really benefit from making the same move that Queensberry just made because their fighters need fight dates. Their fighters need a sense of continuity that they're not now getting at Amazon. We've seen what a year of PBC on Amazon has looked like, and it hasn't looked like much. But it's not just the PBC that should make such a move. Next year, Top Rank's existing deal with ESPN is set to be up. Todd Dubois recently appeared on a 3-knockdown rule with Stephen Kimothy and Mario Lopez, and he talked about the potentiality of staying on ESPN or maybe branching out to have one or two more broadcast partners. You wonder if Top Rank won't be the next major promotional outfit to take the plunge and make the move. The move Queensberry just made. Pete Oliver, DAZN Group, CEO of DAZN Boxing Business, said, "This deal makes DAZN the undisputed global home of boxing. We offer boxing promoters something no other broadcaster is able to deliver: international reach, unmatched production, and an innovative, future-proof product. With Queensberry joining our roster and a guaranteed 150 fights per year."
Wow.
Fight fans will not need to go anywhere else as of April of next year. I agree. Queensberry has fast become the home of the heavyweights, the home for heavyweight boxing, and of course, Matchroom already boasts a robust international stable of fighters, not exclusive to one division or one territory. They've got UK fighters, US fighters, Australian fighters, Uzbeks. They've got a little bit of everything. You know, it was just the other day I saw a lot of people complaining as to whether or not it's worth having a DAZN subscription, a monthly subscription, an annual subscription, based on the schedule of fights they've seen this year. Well, if you were dissatisfied this year,
You didn't think it was worth it.
next year it will be. And just imagine if Top Rank, yet another major promotional outfit in the sport with a robust stable, is the next outfit to make that move. The next outfit to wash up on the shores of DAZN Island. The pros is you'll be able to get that much more boxing from one place on one platform at one price. The con might be that having that many major promotional outfits all on one platform may result in yet another price hike.
And there have already been one or two.
There's already been a few, but what you have to consider is how much more expensive is it to the consumer to have to be subscribed to more than one platform to get all the boxing content as opposed to being subscribed to just one for most of it. What's cheaper? You're giving DAZN whatever you're giving DAZN. You're giving ESPN whatever you're giving them, whether that's $10 or $15 a month or $99 a year.
Amazon Prime, whatever you're paying Amazon Prime, on top of the pay-per-views, because most of what you're getting on Amazon are box office fights.
What you might find is that the more promotional outfits that align themselves with DAZN, the cheaper it becomes to the consumer to get all their boxing, to get their boxing fix.
There may be a slight price hike. The price might go up, but you still won't be spending as much as you would have to subscribing to more than one platform, 2, 3, or 4 platforms.
Now, Frank Warren aligning himself with DAZN is going to make Ben Shalom's job that much harder. He was already struggling to compete with Frank and already struggling to compete with Eddie for relevancy in the UK boxing scene. Now with this,
Sky's gonna fall behind. Sky Sports is gonna fall behind in terms of boxing big time because Ben just ain't got it. He ain't got the bodies and he ain't got the bouts to have to compete with both Eddie and Frank, who are both on DAZN.
the word on the street is that Ben Shalom's broadcast deal is set to be up on Sky very soon. He's another one who may be in the market for a new broadcast partner in the coming year. And if that happens and Sky leaves boxing, does DAZN take Ben Shalom into the fray?
Would he even want to go over there?
Is there room for him in that environment? Or would Ben Shalom end up migrating to TNT to try and fill the void that Frank Warren is now leaving behind? How does it break down? How does it happen? Overall, this is good news, encouraging news, more bipartisanship and more consolidation in the sport of boxing to deliver fans quality fights, value for money.
It's fantastic news that Frank went over there.
This weekend's Queensberry show is a prime example. That show didn't have a US broadcast partner. There was no way to watch it here in America. But as of April of next year, you can get Frank's shows, all of them, via your DAZN subscription.
Like I said, it's good news.
Men's lightweight news. Veteran boxing scribe Rick Glacier evaluated young Floyd Schofield's performance this past weekend, saying, "Been asked by many about Floyd Schofield after watching him fight Rene Tellez. I had a great view as I was first row ringside for the De La Hoya promoted Golden Boy show on DAZN at the Virgin Hotel and Casino in Vegas Saturday night, right behind the Schofields. First, he's just 22. Is he ready right now for Shakur or Gervonta? He would not beat either, presently, but it would definitely be competitive. I love the bravado and gumption the kid is showing, wanting to fight the very best, when most fighters hide behind their promoter and want to just cherry-pick soft touches. 18 months from now, after 6 more fights, he will be ready to challenge the top lightweights. In those 6 fights, he will learn, garner experience, and polish up his game. But Ronnie Shields must have a lot more input besides just being window dressing. Shields is supposed to be training young Floyd, when in reality the trainer is Floyd Schofield Sr. These roles must be reversed for Floyd Jr. to become everything he's supposed to be. I will say that Floyd Jr.'s a lot more exciting than Shakur and Tank. People think Tank's exciting. He's actually boring until the knockout comes. I will continue to watch young Floyd Schofield's development, and you should too.
So that's definitely a good talking point right there. Boxing dads, and the ones who know when to step away, when to let somebody else take over, and the ones who don't.
It's been said often about Teofimo Lopez and his father that Teofimo now needs more than Senior can give him, but as of yet, the corner situation really hasn't changed.
And what Rick is saying is that has to for Floyd Schofield. to live up to his potential, he's gonna need more than his daddy. He's gonna need somebody with veteran experience that he just doesn't have. Enter Ronnie Shields, who's in the corner.
But is he the one in charge? Floyd Schofield has the look of a boxer puncher. He can box when he needs to, punch when he needs to, move lateral, step out when he needs to, step in when he needs to, throw combinations and box on the inside when he needs to. That is the earmark of the boxer puncher. They can box and punch.
That's how you can tell.
He's definitely not a pure boxer like a Shakur Stevenson. He throws a lot more punches per round and takes more chances, strings together more combinations than a Shakur Stevenson, than a pure boxer.
He's not as defensively sound, as defensively minded as Shakur, which is why he's more fun to watch.
Though against Shakur Stevenson here and now, he would be at a tactical disadvantage. As pure boxers, they usually tend to get the best of boxer punchers.
Usually, though not always.
I think we can all agree that Floyd ain't ready for Shakur. Not here and now.
Nope.
And even down the line, a fighter like Shakur specifically, a pure boxer, a stick and move outside fighter that's not going to give you very many countering opportunities. He's not going to stand in one spot. He's not going to trade with you like Rene Hirong did.
A guy like that is always going to give a boxer puncher problems. Always. Here and now, or 6 fights from now.
Gervonta Davis is a boxer puncher, though perhaps not the same kind of boxer puncher that Floyd Schofield is. Boxer puncher based style is a little bit harder to interpret than, say, a pure boxer or a pressure guy, because they do a bit of both. So Gervonta Davis is the kind of boxer puncher that actually leans a little bit more towards the boxing.
Really?
Look at most of his fights and look at him most of the time before he actually scores the knockout. He's moving around, moving lateral, using the ring, and trying to set a trap. He leans more towards the boxing. Floyd Schofield, however, he's the kind of boxer puncher that leans more towards the punching.
Don't you see he throws more often, throws more combinations, more punches in a round than Gervonta?
Gervonta doesn't throw that much. He's an economic boxer puncher, whereas Floyd, he's a bit more proactive, prolific. That would leave him at a disadvantage against Gervonta, because Gervonta's looking to catch you in between. So if you're trying to string together a 2 and 3, 4-punch combination, he might catch you in between punches 3 and 4.
He's not ready for him yet either.
The saving grace is that they're not about to fight anyway. Floyd Schofield is very much still a prospect.
He's not in the same place as Gervonta. He's not in the same place as Shakur.
He hasn't even fought for a world title yet, whereas those two guys already have several times. Is it supposed to be a flex that Shakur and Gervonta are here and now more experienced than a prospect? They're supposed to be.
Duh.
I don't consider Floyd Schofield as being from the same cycle, the same crop as those fighters. Shakur, Devin, Teofimo, Gervonta, Ryan. No, Floyd's part of the new school. That's Abdullah Mason, Bruce Carrington, Richard Torres.
Jahi Tucker.
What Shakur Stevenson may be to Gervonta Davis, maybe Floyd Schofield is that to Keyshawn Davis. You know, that's his contemporary. That is his rival based on this cycle. So all this talk about Schofield versus Stevenson or Schofield versus Davis, it's much ado of nothing.
About nothing.
It ain't about shit, because they ain't about to fight. So what's the argument? That Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson are too experienced for a prospect? And Floyd Schofield? I would expect that they are. They're supposed to be.
And, you know, you got your tank supporters out there that feel that this guy dug, this guy didn't want to fight, all this stuff, man. Like, before Shakur even signed to Cordina, it was a perfect opportunity for him to negotiate with Shakur. But it just always seems that Tank, and this isn't just me hating on, this is factual. Tell me the last true, like, top A dog, bro, where he didn't suck him down and wait so he can have an advantage and saying, oh, he too big and this and that, like he did with Garcia, man. Who was the last? It was Pedraza, and that was years ago, dog. But since then, I mean, who else? Frank Martin, Green. You know, it's almost like, to me, it's like, bro, you like almost a 30-year-old prospect, dog. Fight the best. Fight Shakur. Oh, he tried to fight Lomachenko at the end. I already know what everybody, but Loma didn't want that smoke. He retired Loma. You could have fought that 5-6 years ago, but you was in protective custody. Straight up, PBC protective custody, bro. Straight up. No, I'm serious. No, but look, they've built a hell of a product. The dude look, man, makeup covers up a lot of imperfections. Matchmaking can do the same thing. What are you scared of? That's what I'm trying to, what are you scared of? That's what I'm trying to understand. Put this dude in there with a lion. He knocked out a lion. That's what I'm talking about. Put him in there with a lion, man.
It would seem that former two-division champion, Hall of Fame inductee turned ESPN analyst Timothy Bradley is all out of patience with Gervonta. He's echoing the sentiments we often express here on this channel, saying that Gervonta is basically a 30-year-old prospect and that he's been in the PBC's protective custody a long while, but it's not just the PBC protecting Gervonta, protecting his image. There are a good number of content creators that have been doing that for years. One of the bigger channels, one of the more popular ones, in Fanon Boxing. This guy literally makes up his own news to make Gervonta and the PBC look good. Now he's claiming that Gervonta has been offered a $500 million deal. $500 million. Who's offering him that? Waddle and Reed, supposedly. The people that gave Al Heyman all of that startup money for his PBC. Now, there is no credible news source reporting what Fanon claims to be reporting. What he's doing so that he can protect and preserve the image of Gervonta Davis. But why do it? What's the point? Why lie? There are some people out there that see a bit of themselves in a degenerate, a social dredge, like a Gervonta Davis.
Piece of shit.
They've formed a sort of emotional attachment to this fighter. So when they protect him, they are essentially protecting themselves and projecting.
He's one of us.
I don't care what he is or what you are. He's a hype job. A protected hype job. He always has been.
It's just like Tim says. He's basically a 30-year-old prospect. If he were really one of the best fighters in the world, you wouldn't need to be this careful with him. He's never fought the best. He's not going to.
Didn't do it at 130. Didn't do it at 135. Isn't going to do it at 140.
He isn't going to do it.
Now, this was supposed to be a big year for the PBC. Their first year on the Amazon Prime platform, and it was anything but a big deal. That if the next year on Prime turns out to be like this one, how much longer do you think Gervonta Davis is going to stay in the sport? I can't imagine him boxing under another banner, going somewhere else, like to a Matchroom or a Golden Boy, a Top Rank.
But the PBC can't seem to accommodate him.
What is supposed to be one of their flagship fighters, their star fighters, they were only able to get him out there once this year. Just once.
On a schedule like that, without big money options, without big money fights like the Ryan Garcia fight that you already had.
What, you think he's gonna jump ship, leave the PBC to box under another banner? I don't think so. I would sooner expect Gervonta Davis to retire if the well is running dry and options are scarce. I would sooner expect him to walk away from the sport altogether.
Because he's a fraud.